Hello, cherished viewers. You're welcome once again to the UpClose. I am Solomon, your host. Please stay with us. I have with me here Mr. Kennedy Ewukwado, and he's going to help us understand some things going on about the NUGs, National Union of Ghana Students. I learned that there's been some divisions.
Yeah, that was almost about 2 years now, and it's been resolved now. So we don't want to even go back to how it started and how it also
Oh,
ended, but it's been resolved now. I think during my boss Tim Caro's tenure, so it's been resolved now. Before Honorable J Hyde came,
oh.
but
So who is the incumbent for the national?
that's J Hyde.
Jihad. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And you are?
I'm the local NUGs president for UHAS whole campus.
Oh, okay. So for Hohoi, another is at
Yeah,
Hohoi.
we have Kusi Samuel at all.
Oh, okay. So how do you two combine? How do you coordinate and work together since the campuses are very far apart?
All right, so we have this kind of very active communication that's between the two campuses. And then if there is any program, we are solely like independent from each other.
Oh, okay.
One is not reliable to the other, one is not dependent on the other. It's like we are very separate, we are solely on each other. And then so when he has a program and then he needs maybe an advice or something, that's when he comes on board. And then likewise
Yeah.
myself, if I need any advice or something, that's when I get in. And if you want to do any collaboration or partnership, that's
Okay.
when we come together and then think about
That's
that
in
too.
terms of
In terms
projects.
of project programs and other things.
Looking at how UHAS is a new and upcoming university, though it has struck many developments over the past years, I think the work might be very tough and rigorous.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially getting cooperation from students and then that support from students. It's like most of the things are now beginning, and then they are now even understanding the whole concept of the NUGs here. I know most students don't even know, like, understand the whole meaning of NUGs, and they don't even know how that acronym even stands for.
Then I think you can help us clear that.
Yeah, so NUGs, or let me start from the national, is National Union of Ghana Students.
Okay.
It's a national union for all Ghanaian students, both in Ghana and then abroad. And then we have the national level, that's where we have our national officers. And then when you come to each institution, we have the local NUGs there. That's local NUGs secretariat. That lays between the local SRC and then the national NUGs. So the local NUGs is a liaison between the SRC of each institution or any individual institution, between that institution and then the national NUGs.
Oh,
That's what the local NUGs stands for.
oh,
So it also like take over and then ensure there's easy communication between the SRC and then any other external affairs of the SRC. Yeah. So
oh,
that's for the local NUGs.
oh. So the SRC here plays a very integral role when it
Yeah,
comes to your activities.
yeah. That's we are somehow not independent from the SRC.
Oh,
We work hand in hand
oh,
because we even go for we convey information from the national level to this SRC,
yeah,
like to the SRC level here.
yeah.
So and then if there is any program here or anything that the SRC wants to get to the national level, we also make sure it gets there. So it's like we convene between them, and then we also with them if there is a program that we want to collaborate or partner with them, or there is something that we want to do together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the NUGS president is supposed to be part of the or is part of the SRC parliament.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then if there is a CC, that's Central Committee meeting at the national level, and then there is a Congress, the NUGS is responsible for conveying such information or anything that went at the meeting. You are supposed to convey it through the SRC executive here to the SRC parliament.
then, Mr. Kennedy, with all these responsibilities, I think your work might really need. So, what was your source of funding as an association performing all these activities and responsibilities?
All right. So with funding, that's why I said we are not independent, like from the SRC. So according to that's per our the SRC constitution here, Article 91, Clause 8. That's for the NUGs. The NUGs is entitled to 15% of the student fund. That's the allocated funds.
15%.
15% of the funds for the SRC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say we are not independent. That's we get the fund from the student fund. That's for the NUGs. Yeah. And then for the national level too, we have a dues that we pay on behalf of all students. That's when we go for Congress.
Oh,
Okay. So the national also get its funds, some part of its funds from the local institutions.
yeah.
That's per individual institution. And then the local NUGs at each institution also get part of the fees or part of its fund from the SRC.
Oh, okay. With 15%, I don't think it's enough, but it's not bad either.
Oh, it's not bad, but we are having so many challenges as to when the money is even like you are going to the money is released to you for you to partake your or undertake your activities and then projects. Because as I speak now, not even a budget has been approved yet. Not even a single budget. Because per the constitution, a budget is now supposed to go through the financial committee before it's brought to parliament. Before parliament approves it, then it will go through the executive committee before it gets to
That's the
the dean of
financial
student
committee of
of
the
the SRC
SRC.
parliament.
Oh,
So the committee goes through it, work on it before sending it to parliament. From parliament, before it comes back to the executive committee, from the executive committee before it goes to the dean for funds to be released. And so far, even with this semester, we've had just one parliamentary sitting. And then there were several budgets, several things. We had to even swear some people in, most of the executives in. And then we had so many budgets, so many activities that were done on that day. So there wasn't even a time for budget approval.
yeah.
So these are some of the challenges we face.
So, how long have you been in office?
That's we let's say this is our first semester
Of
of
being.
office.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So far, no project has been
All
made.
right.
No,
So
since no
far,
no budget has been approved.
yes, since no, but we had our own ways, and then we started some project. So with last 2 weeks, we were able to organize a mass team registration for students here with little supervision from the that's the district level, that's the regional
Yeah.
GRA here. And we've been able to also hold a lecture for the student loan. That's the new application piloting that they were doing.
Yeah.
And then we are also planning, we've even started publicizing it. We are having our SNET, that's a mass SNET registration,
Okay.
coming week. That's 20th and then 21st, and the Saturday and Sunday. So we are on it. Though our how the funds is supposed to come, how funds are supposed to be released, that's how we expected it.
You are not
It's
getting
not
it
that way. So we are still working on things and then hoping things will get better.
So I'm
Like
sure
with
Mr.
time.
J. Hyde, you must be watching, and these are some of the challenges your local executive here at UHAS are facing. That's the national president.
National
J.
president.
Hyde. Oh, okay. So talking about the tenure of office,
Yeah.
what are some of the qualifications for one can vie for the position as the national
The president of local NUGs.
local NUGs.
Oh, okay. So with we use the UHAS constitution. That's the UHAS SRC constitution for both the SRC and then the NUGs. And then in terms of elections, we have the federal executives, their requirement that's needed, and then we have provincial requirement, which also includes the NUGs. So as it stands now, before picking a nomination or with what happened to us, picking a nomination, your GPA is supposed to be more than 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you are supposed to be a student of good standing. But elections are based on constitutional instrument that will be laid down for the electoral commission before an election.
Okay.
So the constitutional instrument includes the requirement for that specific year. And then we are even yet to set up an electoral committee for the next election. So speaking about election now wouldn't be that valid in that case right now. So unless we set electoral commission, then a constitutional instrument will be laid down, which includes all the requirements for nominees.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then,
But tenure of office is a year. That's per the academic year. Yeah, both with the federal, provincial, and then all SRC executives.
Oh, okay. I see. Then, with the 2.5 GPA, must it be? Is it something that should it drop, the person will be impeached or something like that?
No, that's per the time of application, per the time of
Oh.
taking nomination. Yeah, so at that time, that's where your GPA is supposed to be. At that time, at the time of being nominated. Yeah.
And somebody will say, all the executives, you must be sharks.
Not, all right, not sharks per se, but you are supposed to be in good standing as a student.
I see. What program?
All right, now majoring in audiology, that's speech, language, and hearing sciences.
Oh, okay. Level
300.
Oh, I think it's not easy combining all this stress, difficulty in passing of the budgets and other things and studies. So you know that it's not easy, but
yeah, we are managing with the grace of God.
I think they are more ahead.
Sure.
So what are some of the things we should be expecting? Students should be expecting.
Alright, so for now, students should be, if things put in place that are being successfully passed,
Okay.
the students should be expecting more in terms of ensuring security. That's one major thing, especially from the Davet to Trafalgar Road.
Yes.
That's major thing. And then
I think
even
that's another topic.
another topic. And then talks have even begun with the whole municipal chief executive, and things are working now. So I think students should just expect more from, and then more engagement from the NUGs with the student body.
I think level 100s, have they have a feel of NUGs?
Yeah, it's somehow in a way. And then I would say it's also because of the COVID-19, which is preventing gathering. So we've not had time to get them. That's to get them and then have a conversation with them or introduce them to more of our program. Since gathering was being banned, like recently. Yeah.
So
but we are hoping to engage them like through traditional means of communication and then other media.
Oh, okay. Are you going to say that your tenure or your current system is going to be worth it?
Sure.
Since you started facing a lot of challenges and that was not how you expected things to go.
Sure. One thing I believe about leadership is knowing the challenge, that's appreciating the fact that the challenge exists. The fact that the moment you're able to appreciate such fact, you're able to work on it, then come together as a team, face such challenges, and then overcoming that challenge will be marked as an achievement. That's one thing that motivates me.
So who are some of the other executives who work with you? You have a secretary?
Yeah, I have my local NUGs secretary, that's Hansen Nebo Yamua. And then I have my treasurer, that's Israel Kavi. And then I have my local NUGs women commissioner, that's Bernadette. Yeah.
But it's like NUGs, you are cutting the women away. Even the national executives, there's only one female, and here too.
All right, I think it's not about cutting women away. It's about nominations were opened for students to come and pick forms freely. Elections were done. It wasn't an appointment. So for that, I'll be like, it's from the interest, not if it was to be appointment, that would have been like a bias in gender. But this one was applications were open to all students, regardless of your gender. And then students had to pick nominations. It was willingly come with your requirement, then like meet your requirement, and then stand for an election for you to be elected as an officer for the local NUGs. So it wouldn't be like based on gender biasness or something.
So was it that if you have the chance to tell management or the executive board something something that you think you deem very necessary in terms of helping your office to do the things you intend to pursue now, what are some of the things you'd like to say? You have the platform. Please let us know.
One thing I always say about our executive and then the management board will be facilitating our budget approvals. Well, that's what we rely on for execution of our projects. And if such is facilitated like in a very fast pace, things will be manifested. Like we will see more things being done. That's what I'll say.
I think uh, viewers, this is Mr. Eluku Ado, the local NUGs president for UHAS whole campus. In fact, there are two. The campuses are two, one at Ho and one at Howhoi, and they work independently, as he first stated. They are on each one of them is on his or her own. Is it a male over there?
A male.
A male, just like I said, it's male centered somehow. Both of them work independently. So this is for